Hey everybody, welcome to casterscorner.com. I'm your host Khalil, here for another toy of the day. What do we have for you today? So we're going to continue our look through the Age of Apocalypse with this big bruiser here, along with some guests from Wave 1 that kind of really need to be, or Wave 1 and beyond. You can check out a full gallery of this guy up on casterscorner.com. You can follow us. We are at Casters Corner on all social media. You can check out the Cornercast podcast. And of course, as I say every time, you can subscribe to that and subscribe to this. The more of you that subscribe, the more cool things we get to do, and then we get to share them with you. And that's been honestly the best part of this whole journey here. So we were all guessing. That this was going to be the Build-A-Figure for Wave 2. He's big, he's wide, he's a big dude here. And so, the Build-A-Figures haven't necessarily been getting bigger, but just giving us extra characters in some cases. And so really honestly thought that he was going to be the Build-A-Figure. And then when they announced that he wasn't, that opened up a whole new can of worms for us. So we have two. We've got like the Snaggletooth smirk with him, right? And we get the alternate head, which is the White Eyes growling version. And they gave us two ponytails. So you can put one in each of the heads. There's no real difference between the two. Both ponytails look, at least in my eyes, almost exactly the same. Same band, same everything. So it's just so that each head has its own ponytail, which is great. So you don't have to swap those in and out and break the parts. He is massive, especially when you stand him next to his partner there, Wild Child. You can see the size difference between the two of them there. And we knew that at some point we would get a Sabertooth, because Wild Child's chain here came with the chain to wrap around Sabertooth's arm for sure. So you can just wrap that around there and he can hold on to it. You can get it. Sorry, not high enough. So you wrap that around. He's holding onto the chain. It clips onto his little buddy here, Wild Child, from Wave 1. And there you go. You got Sabertooth and Wild Child. And it unclipped. It's not a very strong clip. It's a very plasticky. There's not like a carabiner or anything on there. So it does tend to fall off from time to time. That's okay. It's more about when you pose them out. So you've got that option there for you. So there it is, all kind of attached and wrapped around. He does come with alternate hands. So he's got the open hands to kind of hold onto things or grab onto people. And then you've got the closed fists as well. So you get two alternate hands with the closed fist and the open fist. Oh God, this is one of the best. Again, Magneto was one of the best. This might be one of the best Sabertooths they've done too. The regular Sabertooth was good. I'm not bashing that at all. But for me, this look for Victor just really, really sets him apart from others. And it's just like, it's just a badass look for him. I'm sorry. It just really looks good. And then when you mix it, you add Wild Child. So that's a great addition too. But then you soften him up a little bit, right? You switch out the heads. You soften him up a little bit. And you start to build out that. And then you add this little buddy here. And then you add the other one. And you start to build the Exiles team, which Age of Apocalypse is my favorite storyline. My favorite team, that doesn't include like the original X-Men, is the Exiles. Exiles is like hands down one of my favorite things in the world. Love the original run. Would love to see that team built out with Morph and Sabertooth here and Victor. And then you add Blink, which is a figure I was begging for years from the Marvel Legends team. And finally having her is great. And she comes with the portals and she comes with the accessories. And it's one of those things about putting these two together just makes me happy. Just seeing these two characters together. Yes, her head sculpt is not correct. The colors are a little bit darker. They match her Exiles look versus her Age of Apocalypse look. So do we need an updated blink? I would personally like an updated blink. Do I have to have one? No, not necessarily. A lighter green, a lighter skin tone, and the different hair with the trails coming down, a little more anime styled, would make me happy. But I'm okay with this pairing right here. And so, honestly, adding all these together has been the most exciting for me, because we build a Marvel universe within the Legends line, and they look great together, right? But we don't expect to build out the Avengers like that. We don't expect to build out, Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery or all the Iron Man armors like that. So we, 20 years now, in one way, shape, or another, we've been building out these teams, and they've been growing and growing and growing. This is more of an encapsulated story. So the idea that these are kind of starting to come together, it's not just one wave, it's two, and hopefully three, maybe some deluxes, there's maybe a wave 4, and we really just complete this whole universe of Age of Apocalypse, I'd be the happiest person in the world. So you can check out a full gallery of all 4 of these. Actually, we're going to throw all 4 of these in the same gallery together, because you can't take pictures of Sabertooth without Wild Child, and then if you got Sabertooth, you got to put the other Exiles in there. So we're gonna make a nice little display for them. So you can check out a full gallery of these guys up on casterscorner.com. You can follow us. We are at Casters Corner on all social media, and you can check out the Cornercast podcast. Subscribe to that. Subscribe to this. We really appreciate it. And as we say almost every night, I think I missed one. Jaxie, we love you. We miss you, and we do. We wish you were here. But we're wrapping up Age of Apocalypse tomorrow with the Builder figure and one more figure. So come on back, and we'll see you tomorrow here on casterscorner.com for another Toy of the Day. Have a good night, everybody.